And welcome back to game number 3 between Navi and Fnatic. I don't even know why we're in game number 3, but Navi dropped game 2 in a very awkward fashion. Let's just leave it like that. Game 3 coming your way, and hopefully Navi's going to be playing a little bit more serious than they have compared to the last game.
Well, there's a Prophet in the pool, and that is a hero that Navi definitely know how to use. So, let's see, what is available at the moment? Prophet is available, Morphling is available, and that's a hero Fnatic really love to play. Nightstalker and Sand King. Yeah, that Sand King for Hani might be forthcoming. A couple of heroes that both teams have been known to run.
Yeah.
I'm surprised to see that none of Hani's heroes have been banned out this time.
Dark Seer, sorry to cut you in.
Yeah. A lot of strong heroes made through. Panda as well. I mean, these Fnatic has run the Panda in the past, but there we go. Dark Seer is the first pick. That's the hero Navi was angling for. They are giving away a Prophet, but Dark Seer is a very strong pick, and Navi is definitely a team that knows how to use it.
I mean, for those of you guys that haven't seen Darkseer quite frequently, and because he's always banned, so we don't have many chances to talk about it, he does everything. He lanes well, he team fights well, he ganks, he helps you escape. He does 100 things plus one more. And it makes picking around so much more difficult. Something you have to worry about laning. Anti-mage against Darkseer, as you know, easy as that might sound for an anti-mage. Those Iron Shell damage start to sack up once he hits level 3 and even 5. Also, you have to worry about, okay, is the enemy team going to go for Enigma now? Is he going to go for Sang now? Because everything combos with Darkseer. Darkseer is the initiator of everything. So, if you're Fly here, you're in a little bit tough spot, I feel.
He is. That being said, there's a lot of strong heroes in the pool. There's a Windrunner, a Prophet. One of the best ways to deal with Darkseer is to set up a strong ranged hero, someone who can really harass him. I mean, he's going to get some farm anyway. He's normally in that off lane. We could see him in the jungle, but his laning is just so powerful, and he's so good at dealing with the offlane. That's usually where you see him. It's going to be a Prophet leshrac, very strong pushing power off the bat. Man, there's just so many heroes available in this pool. I would not be surprised at all to see Navi pick up something like the Windrunner here. That gives them two fantastic laning heroes. In that case, it would probably be a Dendy Windrunner in the mid position. I also want to mention, Fnatic went with Morphling as their hard carry 2 games in a row. Navi has not seen fit to ban him. Oh, Brewmaster as well as Windrunner. A lot of team fight here, a lot of chasing power for Navi, a lot of initiation as well. It's going to be Nightstalker, so they're not even interested in that Sand King. Now, a nice combination Fnatic is going for them is the Nightstalker Prophet ganking combo. Prophet with his global presence, Nightstalker with his sheer movement speed. These two can show up pretty much anywhere instantly. There is no Chen, and that's going to maybe slow down Hani's early game. I doubt we're going to see him get racking up the kind of kills that we saw when that Chen was being played by Fly. But nonetheless, it is a hero Hani's shown a lot of strength with. Morphling gets the ban in the second stage.
As well as the Sand King, so more respects going towards the Fnatic squad. Very interesting that they're not afraid of Nightstalker, or they didn't pick the Nightstalker themselves. I thought they were going to go into Nightstalker Windrunner, as Nightstalker is one of their very signature heroes, fits their playstyle very nicely. But I think they're going to be okay against the NS for a couple of reasons. First, the heroes are very, very mobile. The Surge is going to help out. Unless you silence a Darkseer, everyone's going to get off with relative ease. And if you do silence a Darkseer, well, he generally has, Vanguard Pipe. So he's very, very tanky in that nature. Secondly, as I alluded to just right now, this squad is actually very tanky. Effective HP on Windrunner is fairly high with the 4-staff, and as well as the mech on her. Of course, we know Panda as well as Darkseer. Naturally tanky hero, or gets tanky with items they do buy. So this Nightstalker won't get as big. Also, we're not going to have Dendy most likely go 0-4 again off the back of Chen ganks out of the jungle. So hopefully Navi won't fall up to that those kind of poor start. Like I pointed out last game, either Navi falls behind a very, very poor start and you get a legit game, or Navi's going to just steamroll you in 20 minutes. We'll see what kind of game we're going to get here.
With Morphling banned out for the first time this series, I'm very curious, who is Era going to play? He did quite well last game. He got a lot of farm. He got up a quick Lincoln Sphere, and then he went into Theorblade. And as the game progressed, he was just too big. It's like you said, they're not as squishy this time around, so I doubt he's going to find the early kills. On top of that, although Fnatic have a Prophet, a leshrac, and a Nightstalker, 3 decent pushing heroes, actually pretty strong pushing heroes, and some decent gank, I don't see them getting the early kills, the early towers. Navi is much stronger, more stable lanes, and man, they pick up an Enigma as well. So now we could see a vacuum into a black hole into a Panda ult, and of course you can switch up the order of these spells. You can start with the black hole, then vacuum everyone, and Bane will be the final pick. So no hard carry for Navi, but just ridiculous amounts of lockdown, team fight, and disable to work with. And I like this pick against the Nightstalker in particular, because if you just put him to sleep or grip him under tower, he is going to melt. Navi have so much crowd control, and Fnatic, they are pretty squishy. Not much team fight to work with. They're going to have to try to spread the map, because in a head-on engagement, I do not see them outlasting or out-damaging this Navi squad.
Yeah, not only the sleep, you gotta keep in mind that late game enfeeble is gonna actually make Nightstalker somewhat useless as well. Probably it's not gonna be the most important thing here to talk about, but yeah, Bane, it depends on whether the Bane's gonna get solo EXP or as a supporting cast. From the times I've seen Navi play Bane, it's usually support being played by Arzart, and it's gonna link fairly decently with the Panda as well. We're gonna see a Slardar, so it seems like it's gonna be going for a very, very tanky front line and very chase-oriented front line, but as much chases that Fnatic has, I think Navi has a little bit more. They have so many stuns, so many disable, and that ever so critical surge.
It does give them a nice little minus armor combination between the Vengeful Spirit and the Slardar, if they can actually get amplified damage and the Wave of Terror onto any of these heroes. I mean, we mentioned they're naturally tanky, and Darkseer, Panda in particular, do have pretty good base armor, but they're not agility heroes. Their armor's not going to scale up amazingly well. That's where a quick mechanism could come into play, and Enigma is certainly a hero who can farm that up in a timely fashion. Windrunner is as well. So although they have a lot of minus armor potential and it could do a lot of damage, I don't think we're really going to see it realize this game because Navi have those heroes that can and often do go for a fast mechanism. Let's go ahead and introduce the players for both teams and see who's playing what. For Fnatic, it will be Era on that Nightstalker, not getting his signature Morphlane. Hani, as usual, will be playing that Nightstalker. It looks like he's headed mid. Nova on that hard support, who continues to die a lot, even when his team is ahead. Has the wards and the Smoke of Deceit picked up. No-Tail going to be playing a support leshrac. And I don't really like support leshrac in general. I just feel he's too item dependent. But at least he'll be a second position support. He won't be the hard support for the team. And Fly is going to be that Prophet. Looks like he'll be headed to the off lane with an early Rune of Protection as his selection.
Tactical pause, smoke pause being called out by both teams. Navi, Light of Heaven is going to be playing that one. Puppy most likely going to be jungling here with Darkseer. Hopefully he's going to actually do more jungling instead of running around. We're going to have Hobos playing the Brewmaster. Arzar, yes, is going to be playing that support Bane. And you predicted it is going to be going the solo mid Windrunner being handled by Dendi.
Yeah, I really love solo mid Windrunner being played by Denny because he's so good at dominating the lane, getting last hits, and controlling the runes. Power Shot is one of the best spells to have in that mid position because it pushes the wave so well. Windrunner is also very defensive here, very difficult to lock down. So I like this choice. With that being said, it looks like both teams are headed into the Radiant jungle. And this makes a lot of sense because you're looking at Enigma and a Darkseer, who either of whom can jungle if they need to. I really doubt the Dire are going to be able to shut this down. Navi are just too strong in the early stages of the game, but they're going to try for the moment. Nova leading the way. He's got a pair of wards. Looks like he'll be warding off the pole camp to start. As I say that, he continues on in. Yep, Magic Bush ward will be placed. Are there any Sentry wards?
There's no Sentry ward. A very uncharacteristic move of Navi, so a big part of the jungle is going to get shut down. With Enigma, you could operate mostly off the 2 camp, and I really think it's going to be Darkseer that's going to be jungling. He could definitely operate off 2 camp, because a big part of his jungling is actually just jungle the small camp, and then keep pulling the big one, and then clearing out with the big smoke later on. So actually this jungle bush ward is not going to do too much. What this means is that Dendi is going to be dived upon quite a bit. It seems like the lanes has been switched up. Puppy's going to be jungling. We have a dual lane mid, and it's going to be a Bane supporting it. And Bane Panda lane is actually very strong.
Oh boy.
A sleep into a collab is just kind of no joke. Dendi should be okay on this spot lane with Windrun available to him. But that doesn't mean that he's going to get a lot of farm because there's a lot of heroes on the other side. Haste Rune is going to get hovered by Nova, and I think Dendi, if he's not careful, will be going down in first blood.
It's an offensive tri-lane with a lot of kill potential here, but at the same time, it's a very, very squishy tri-lane. leshrac and Vengeful Spirit, very low HP, but they're going to smoke up. I think they might have been spotted, but as I say that, they're going to go for Puppy. No points in Surge yet. Oh, the smoke gets dispelled on the high ground. The ward will spot it, and that is just very unfortunate. One of those things where you just happen to run in at the wrong time. They're going to rotate down towards bottom instead. Dendi, no skill point picked up. He is holding onto it and will undoubtedly go into Windrun if he gets ganked off here. Windrun not going to be the most... Oh, what a bad time to dive into the tower. Nova tagging the tower, and he's going to be forced to use a lot of regen off the bat. This tri-lane is not having a good start.
Oh man, that's just a silly mistake being committed by Fnatic. South going down the drain without anything usage. Any way that you want to know where the enemy creep wave is, just look at your own creep wave. It's just mirror across a minimap dynamically. So if yeah, that should not be a mistake being seen in a competitive match like this. But in any case, that was a mistake, and Dendy actually quite okay for now. Now, the problem with Fnatic's tri lanes, if they're not going to get many kills, they're going to fall behind in terms of level. And they can't really effectively roam away. As to say that magic missile is going to hit, the clap's going to hit, and then the splitter is going to hit as well. Fly teleported in as well. The windrunner blocking a lot of physical hits, but not enough. First blood gets picked up by the vengeful spirit. That's going to be a quick boots upgrade, or a quick pair of wards being purchased. Interesting. What the hell is that about?
Well, maybe they want to ward off even more of these jungle camps, but Puppey can simply transition into the enemy jungle. Yeah, I'm not sure what it's about, what that's all about. They could also look to place a ward behind the tower, but he's still got one in reserve.
Yeah, he's got one more.
It's very strange. I mean, this is, like, it's great for supports that have wards, but an early pair of boots of speed on Vengeful Spirit is a huge advantage for your side, especially when you have this kind of gank potential. I also want to mention, that was a big investment to get a first blood. They used up a smoke, they used up a salve, they even had to get a Prophet TP in, and they might be giving up a counter kill top as Enigma has pushed the lane. He doesn't have the Ring of Basilius yet, but it looks like Fly's in a lot of trouble. Surge to start. Yeah, Fly should be dead as long as they can cancel this TP, and they've got 3 ways to do it. Actually, oh sorry, only 2. There's no points of vacuum yet. Fly gets caught out, he will go down. And this is the issue with, another issue with running the tri lane, is that it really puts a lot of pressure on your other 2 solos. And these are not the 2 strongest solos in the game by any means. Nightstalker can actually be handled just fine 1v1 mid by Panda. Prophet, not the best mobility in the world. He's got TP to try and escape, but against so many disables, it's going to be difficult for him. So I feel like the trade-offs are okay right now for Navi, and in fact, they are already out to 1,000 gold lead without any towers. Navi are looking to be in strong control of this game.
Yeah, this is a 4-man push on the bot for Fnatic to a 3-man push on top, and the 3-man push is winning by far right now. The creep wave not being mowed down. I mean, Iron Shell and of course Eidolon, if left alone, pushes way better than the whatever the Dyers got. And right now, yeah, they're not even making any good ground on the tower. They're being chased around, and Dendy can even come around. This is so much time being wasted. Fnatic shooting themselves in the foot right now. I don't think anything is being done to them by Navi. Navi's going to take down the tower on the top lane here, and the gold lead is actually going to start to climb a little bit out of control.
Yeah, look at Navi. Level 4 on the Enigma, level 4 on the Darkseer, level 2 on that support Bane. Compare it to the levels on Fnatic, and if we look at the experience graph, you see this reflect as well. Fly, he was a solo in the safe lane. He's level 2. Even the leshrac in the trial. Oh, slardar might die to the tower. Okay, he's just going to live. It dies at that moment, but Navi continue to apply the pressure. They're just being more efficient with their position, with their farm, with that early tower going down. It actually might make it easier for Dendy to farm here. If the tri-lane breaks up, which it looks like it will be, he'll be left completely to his own devices. Not as much of a reason for Fnatic to be here now that tier 1 is down. And Navi, nice backdooring, or nice creep skipping here. They're actually going to be able to bring this tier 2 already down to half HP. Great
Might be a little bit trouble. A double damage Nightstalker is coming in slowly. It is not nighttime just yet. There is a sleep on the Vengeful Spirit. Teleportation comes in. That is from the Slardar. He's going to get a crush off Light of Heaven. He's going to die to the tower. Meanwhile, Chase comes here from Hani. Sleep, and it's going to be silence and a slow on Arzar. He's going to be going down. Era, as I say that, yeah, he is going to be going down. Arzar is going to be trying to chase away Puppey. No, sorry, Arzar went down. Puppey alive. Puppey's going to be fine with the Soul Ring. Going to go back to jungle. I say overall it's okay. They got some damage on the tier 2, but Era and the Nightstalker got some kills. So not exactly the best exchange for Navi.
Yeah, that was a little sloppy. Navi really overstayed their welcome there. But in spite of that, I mean, look at the farm they're getting on every single hero. Dendy, he's only got 7 creeps, but that is going to start rising really quickly. Panda up to 32 CS. See on phase boots already, as well as 500 gold. I believe he's even ferrying a bottle. No, maybe that's not his. But either way, I mean, he could have a blink dagger maybe the 10-minute mark a bit after that. And an early blink, a quick level 6 on Panda is just murder for Prophet, Vengeful Spirit, and leshrac. And even the 2 tankier heroes in the Nightstalker and the Slardar, you might not kill them, but you can cyclone them and deal with them last, or at least send them running back to their base. So I still like Navi's chances the way this game has started. I feel like for Fnatic, they have to start getting the levels. Fly is level 3, very far away from his ultimate. I mean, they're falling behind, and they're a team that needs a lot of levels.
I completely agree with you. The level discrepancy is just too high, simply against a panda. Against a panda, generally the best game plan is either to run, which good luck with that, or just to try to survive. And in terms of that level 1 ultimate of the panda, sometimes you can actually survive long enough and turn into turn the tide of the team fight. But that only is true if you have like level 6s or level 7 on all your heroes. That simply isn't the case. Nova level 3 is going to pick up boots and a smoke. So they want to try to get levels from the ganks. And, well, let's see if it's going to be successful. It is the first night. Hani, we saw how explosive he was in the first night. Off the back of successes he had early on. 3 friends meet up, and they're going to smoke. What are they looking for? Whoever they're looking for, they're nowhere near.
Okay, let's not forget, the last time that Hani played Nightstalker in the previous game, he was already level 6 and just about to hit level 7 the second the first night started. And that that's around the 550 mark. A full minute later this game, and he's only level 5. And this goes back to the laning stage. That tri-lane bottom forced Nightstalker into 1v2 against a panda as well as a bane. And that's simply a lane he cannot win. Void to start, Magic Missile to follow onto 2 different heroes. Not the best target selection. And here's the defensive power of Navi. A simple surge away. The gank attempt is over. Another smoke wasted. More time to get levels being wasted. Even Fly, who's sitting up top, he's still only level 4. Navi's about to get level 6 on all of their core heroes. Particularly the Brewmaster already has it. Enigma's about to get it. And just with those 2 big ults alone, they can wipe Fnatic if they have any sort of mispositioning. Easily turn that into some towers. If Navi want to play it safe, they can do that as well. They haven't lost too much in terms of map control. The one concern for Navi is going to be Dendi, who is level 3. I feel like Dendi should be farming bottom right now. It is a bit dangerous at nighttime, but some good wards could help out with that.
Yeah, also Arzard's level 3, and both of these heroes need quite a bit of level. So you're taking that, the Radiant, or the Dire is losing a lot of levels. Well, same thing with Radiant. Like, this game's been such an awkward pushing pace early on. Then he just hit level 4, but he needs so much more than that. First level Shackle Shot is picked up. A level 1 Shackle Shot doesn't mean too much, even if you land it, but a stun is a stun. Especially trying to cancel TPs and whatnot. Nova's going to ward Dendi away from that regen route, and Hani picks it up, and he's going to be trying to go up top lane to make sure Panda's not going to get any more farm. This is his night. He's supposed to do a lot here, but I actually don't think he can kill Panda.
Right, it goes back to Navi's lineup, the way that they drafted. They picked a lot of heroes who are very difficult to gank, heroes who are very strong in the laning phase, and that's how Navi likes to play. They like to have these aggressive defensive heroes. I say aggressive defensive because they are difficult to kill, but they also are very strong in the laning stage, and that's why they jump out to quick leads in most of their matches. This is a much more typical lineup from Navi than what we saw in the first 2 games. They're done messing around. There's no roaming Bat Rider. That being said, I mean, it's not like Fnatic's out of the game or anything along those lines, but Fnatic is not having the quick start, and generally if you don't jump out to a quick lead against Navi, they're just going to overwhelm you in the mid game with superior positioning, a bit of an item lead, and from there it snowballs very quickly. I'm really keeping my eye on this Brewmaster because he is so close to a Blink Dagger, and if he can farm it up in the next 2-3 minutes, Blink in, clap, ult, I see at least 3 of these support heroes getting wiped, along with some backup from his supporting cast.
Well, unless he has a full magic wand, he doesn't even have enough mana for that Blink Clap ult combo. He has 6 charges right now, so it's getting there. But right now, Fnatic patiently waiting for a gank. They see the Panda. Do they have enough burst? This could very easily change the gank the other way. There's going to be a silence, perhaps. Yeah, he tried to cast his ultimate. The chains are not exactly there. He's going to wand up, but not enough, as the silence is still lasting forever in that nighttime. And with Diabolic Edict and Treant being summoned, they can easily bring down the tier 1. Navi is getting owned upon.
I wouldn't go that far, but that was a crucial gank, slowing down that Blink Dagger. Yeah, they're going to get a tier 1 tower, and as the towers start to drop, it becomes more difficult for Navi to gank out this Prophet in particular, a hero who's often split pushing on his own. The less towers that you have, the less places there are to TP to, and therefore the safer it is for Prophet to be farming deep on the enemy side of the map by himself. We haven't looked too much at the gold graph or the experience graph for the past minute, so it's still very even. A bunch of heroes on Fnatic are mid. In fact, like you said, they love to hold hands. 4 heroes grouped up. It's only Prophet off on his own, and he's always that +1. So really, you have to think of this as all 5 heroes sticking together. They're going to go for another gank up onto the high ground, but this is completely spotted by a nice ward placed by Navi. They're trying to shut down this Nightstalker. Hani really punished them last game. And in spite of the tower kill, I mean, Fnatic are leading the way in terms of kills, but Navi, true to form, is finding the farm. Look at Arzard, level 6. We talked about him needing the levels, and he has managed to secure them.
I just want you to look at the river right now and how many wards there's on the river. Both teams trying to secure. I mean, the warding spot for Dire, very, very standard, right? The river wards, but for Radiant, it is just all over the place. You see every gank incoming, Sentry ward, the Sentry wards are also holding hands to make sure there's no shenanigans. They just want to prevent all the sight. Unfortunately, a simple amplified damage will give them a sight, so it's just kind of awkward.
This is like 1,000 gold worth of wards. They just slammed down 2 more, and they actually might get dewarded. In fact, they will be. Fnatic spotted that. Navi is almost playing scared. I mean, they're a bit afraid right now, and I guess
really
you have
scared.
to be. The Nightstalker plus Prophet is a very potent combo. Oh, but there's another potent combo. Surge onto it, the Enigma, who's looking to go in. Here comes Panda, but he gets silenced again, out of position. Navi's been boot camping, but they're certainly not showing it here. The coordination is just lacking at the moment. And Fnatic are on, they're deep into Navi territory. They're not done the chase just yet. The ult gets popped on a Puppey. Puppey in a bit of trouble. Here comes a Prophet TP. Will they actually dive this tower? Malefice onto Arrow, slowing him down. This is where Nightstalker and Slardar truly shine, is at this stage of the game where they can bully heroes off of these tier 1 towers and then push with the Prophet as well as the leshrac.
Yeah, that def on Panda is so important because without the Panda, Fnatic could go in with leisurely pace. But as I say, that Shackle shot, that's it. Vacuum does hit the nice splitter, slowing them down, and I think Fnatic will be able to back out just in time. 1,700 gold is Panda's current bank, and he's trying so hard to work towards that blink, but 2 consecutive deaths has slowed him down. Meanwhile, Nature's Prophet has his hand of many monies up, and of course, levels is what we've been discussing. He is going to get the extra farm, but getting creeps level, getting the 2.5 bonus level that he's going to get whenever he dominates a creep or kills a creep, it is so important.
Okay, there are some bright spots for Navi. Light of Heaven has picked up his mechanism. That's a big pickup for him. They're getting very close to that blink dagger. I also want to point out we're seeing an incredibly early gem by Arsart. So not only are they going to spend over 1,000 gold in wards, they're going to spend another 700 on a gem. And if you look at the Dire side, there's no heroes that actually are invis. So this is purely to try and maintain map control. Now this is something we see a lot of from the top teams, especially Chinese teams. They love to get up a quick gem on heroes like Beastmaster, but normally you don't see it quite this early. And you normally see it when you have a bit more of a lead. It just shows you how important Navi, or how highly they value their map control, value their vision. I feel like for Navi right now, they have to find an opening. You don't pick Panda and Enigma to farm all game. You pick them to use Black Hole and Clap, as well as that Panda ult in the mid game to really dominate team fights. If Fnatic can continue to spread the map, continue to get towers and pickoffs here and there, that's playing exactly into their hands. Whereas for Navi, their strength is going to be in the team fights, in the larger scale engagements.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what Navi's looking for. It is daytime. And of course, then he has Vincire's bottle, so he's not too worried about that gank. Perhaps they're going to do a small scale push into the mid lane, try to deward as they move across the river. I really want to point out that this might be seemingly a very offensive way to grab an early gem to kind of deward and move into the enemy base, but this is actually very defensive. Imagine yourself, you're playing a Nightstalker. Generally, at nighttime you want to roam and get a lot of kills, but if you're running up a lot of ramps and you have no sight, you actually don't feel that comfortable because you never know up whichever ramp you're running into. There's 3 or 4 heroes waiting, and that's uncertain death for you for sure. So it's a very strong defensive move against the Nightstalker.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I mean, Hani has not gotten the kind of start he got last game. He hasn't died yet. He's 0-3, but with those early kills, I mean, we saw him shoot up to like level 10 or 11, and then he slowed down because he was grouped up with his team. But he had that really fast start. They also knocked down more outer towers. Whereas this time around, we've only seen them take a tier 1 bottom and top. The mid towers, those crucial towers for the Radiant, in terms of map control, in terms of Roshan access, those are still available for Navi. And Smoke Gank actually going Navi's ways. Now they want to force an engagement. Level 7 of the Darkseer, it's immediately dispelled by Fly, and they go the wrong direction. Still, these other heroes are smoked up, but nice drawing on the map by No-Tail. They definitely know something's up, and Fnatic should be able to dodge a bullet here.
Yep, again, you talked about Navi can't do, they can't farm all game with the Panda and Enigma, and they're trying to get off some opening, but right now Fnatic positioning-wise, they're not getting caught off. So, hey, they're just basically biding their time, waiting for the next Nightfall, trying to get as much farm and as much HP as possible. Era's going to pick up, what does he pick up? He's got a Blink Dagger, so a very offensive way to play the hero, and I think that's the correct way. They just need some way to get into Navi. Navi's positioning with Surge is so easy to get around, and of course with the Blink Dagger, with the Brewmaster, they have so much more mobility now. They just need somewhere to dive in, and once the teamfight gets hectic enough, I think the chasing power for the Slardar as well as the nightstalker will edge them out. As I say that though, they're going to give up a 3 tier 1. Navi will be very happy to take that because they are all starving for gold. Navi just not really used to this stage of the game where 16 minutes in, they generally have all the 6 outer towers. And so far, they're claiming just their 4th one.
Actually, it's actually only 3, so you know, not even the 4 to work with. But yeah, I mean, they did get all the outer towers. That's the start. I feel like if it weren't for the Blink Dagger, Navi could just group up as 5 and push away. But with that, the threat of the Blink stun from the Slardar as well as the Nightstalker charging in, it's just a bit too dangerous to be pushing aggressively and grouping up. You know, the pickup from Fnatic, it gives them initiation. It also gives them just the threat of initiation. And sometimes that's really all you need. Fly, he's worked his way up to Power Tread, so that Hand of Midas, if left unattended, this will pay off for him eventually. It generally takes about 17 minutes for a Hand of Midas to pay for itself, depending on which creeps you use it on. And Fly hitting level 9, he's getting the levels. He started off level 2 way behind the other heroes on the game, tied with only the squishiest of the hard supports, but now he's definitely caught up. In fact, he's leading the game, tied with that Brewmaster.
This is such an odd game. We're 16, 17 minutes in and no heroes above 10. And it's not really like full-scale engagement all the time. It's 1 and 5. Invisible Hani is walking around, but there's a gem chilling, so he's got to be somewhat careful. Yeah, both teams just a lot of hero movement, a lot of roaming, but really nothing accomplished of Dandy finally catching up despite having that really poor start. He's going to be working towards that 4-staff, and once that 4-staff is going to be completed, his team's going to be a lot happier with the positioning in the game. Seems like Navi want to group up and do a tier 2 push mid. And yeah, Dyer has correctly identified. We might see a big scale fight here. Who does it favor? Your gut thoughts, your gut feelings on that one.
It's hard to say, but I mean, the team that's got the Brewmaster and the Enigma and the Darkseer, I feel like they should outright win a team fight. The only way they're going to lose this, and the way that Fnatic needs to engage, is to get off a nice silence on one of those teamfight heroes by the Nightstalker, and on top of that, hit a good Slithering Crush. You've got to hit at least 2 or 3 heroes. Prophet ult bouncing through can stall this, but there is going to be the mechanism available. So, oh, blink and clap, there's your initiation, and Nova will be the first casualty of war. A single kill, not the biggest deal in the world, but Hani is going to get caught out as well. The team that initiates first will win this fight, and Navi, they get 2 much-needed pickoffs. Fly will be counter-pushing, but
they're going to keep going.
They're going to go high ground. They're going to go for it.
Navi is one of those teams that if you give them a small lead, they will continue to pressure for it. This is not one of those teams that just back off despite having a huge lead. And now, yeah, they're going to do some damage. Probably they're not going to bring this tower down, but it's going to make the next push so much easier. Of course, there's a Blink Dagger on Era. There's a couple of seconds before the Nightstalker is back, so they're going to do a little, just slightly a little bit more damage. It looks like Era has a blink backwards, actually. And I think with that, they're happy with what they have. They got a 2 pickoff off only a Panda ultimate, and it seems like they have still the Black Hole available, so they're not really worried about any big counter assault or anything. The defender is tier 2 at top, perhaps even going to go into deny. As I say that though, Bane gets picked off, vacuum back in the mid lane here. Where's that? There's a Black Hole. Here comes a huge clap. 3-man Black Hole gets trapped here, and Nova's going to be the next one to go down. Nice splitter. That's going to slow everyone down. It's not going to be enough. Triple kill for that Darkseer. That Iron Shell with the Black Hole and a clap just simply too much. And guess what? Navi's right back.
They have 2 buybacks on the Fnatic side, so if they need to, they can buy back. But that's definitely something you don't want to be doing at this early stage of the game, especially when you don't have core items up on many of these heroes. Slardar's got the Blink, but no Vitality Booster, no Vanguard, no BKB, no Glyph on the Fnatic side. They're going to lose this tier 3. Will they be able to defend the racks is the question. There's no Panda ult, there's no Black Hole. There is a Darkseer ult, however, and that alone can zone the entire enemy team back. And look at Navi. You give them an inch, they're going to try to take a mile. And finally, the Prophet ult will force them back. Blink and clap on 2. What an initiation by Era. The lockdown. 2 heroes drop. Navi is overextended again. This game, I feel like a ping pong ball being bounced back and forth between both teams. The chase continues. Even Darkseer has trouble running from a Slardar, especially with a Blink. He can Blink clap, and I think Puppey will be the 3rd casualty of war here. Nice counterattack at Fnatic, immediately transitioning into the Roshan pit with the Slardar and a Vengeful Spirit. They could definitely bring this down, and you can see Darkseer has something to say about that. He's going to buy back right away.
Yeah, I'm not sure with him alone it's going to be enough. You can see that Denny is very low in terms of HP or mana. He can't really do it. And this buyback aggressively trying to ward them away, but with a Slardar minus 12 armor, are we? Yeah, we're level... Yeah, that's minus 12 armor at level 2 ultimate. Wow, actually they're going to get scared back, and I think this might be a mistake. The wall gets dropped off here. Nightstalker just runs the class. There's a blink pass for Era. First time he actually missed the blink stun. Puppey might be a little bit of trouble. Nice vacuum forward. No black hole this time. Puppey is going to be going down. Shackle shot trying to get tamed. Is it going to hit Era? No, Era's going to be fine. Blink up here. Defensive swap not going to be enough. Another buyback. That's from the leshrac. Nova gets picked off a second time. You got to keep in mind Roshan is very, very low. Arzad looking for a grip. He's surged up. He's not walking in for that grip. Puppey so close to death, was able to survive, much thankful to his hood. And again, the Radiant squad is back. They do have the Panda ultimate this time. Havos looking ahead to do something initiation. He's going to walk straight up the racks. Glyph is not up. And if they really need to do it, they could just pop the Panda ult and get themselves a for sure racks. A 21-minute racks where they were down 1-5. Navi is playing this game very, very nicely. As I say that, vacuum goes on the mid lane here, and you see Panda trying to run around. He will have his ultimate back on if he's not silenced. So low is his AP. Will he pop it right now? No, he does. Right before the splitter hurts him, and that was going to give him the racks. They're going to keep chasing Nova very low. That's an easy pick off for Nova. Oh no, Nova is going to get up. Yeah, he's going to be absolutely fine. Whew, this game's just so damn close. I say that. He's not running into his base. He gets picked up by the storm. Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know if you caught that boulder toss, but that was truly from long range. This is where I want that NBA Jam announcer pack in Dota 2. Oh, Panda on the back foot. He doesn't have to blink for 5 seconds. I think he might go down. Arsart, great sleep. There's the Sprout. Arsart in a bunch of trouble. Fly actually not too much right-click damage to work with. Arsart is going to survive. Everybody escapes for Navi. They are just masterful once they start to get this lead. I mean, this is the Navi that we expected to see. It took them a while to sort of, get comfortable and start playing effectively, but claiming Rex 20 minutes in. Fnatic is not out of this yet. They have a Prophet, they have a lot of push power, a lot of mobility, but it's going to be tough to stop the second push, which is sure to be coming, especially once this pipe is complete on Puppey. He's getting pretty close if he wants to go for it. He should have, he's about 900 gold away.
Yeah, they definitely need some big items. leshrac needs this BKB, and he's nowhere near it. They need a couple of force staff, because when Panda blink, flaps, and ults, you need to get the hell out of there very, very quickly. Of course, they just need HP and level. Despite the big lead they had early on, level, again, is one of their downfalls. They don't have any of that. Light of Heaven has a mech finish. Blink is already up on him as well as 1,800 gold. And looks like Panda just picked up a Ogre Club. Could be going for BKB. Most likely going for Accept there, though, as, well, I mean, BKB on Panda, we've seen it before, but it's actually very, very odd. He's going to pick up the Ogre Club for just raw HP bonus at this point. Here comes the entire Dire squad. Of course, Prophet on top lane, he could be able to TP in any time as well. Roshan was never claimed, you gotta keep in mind that. I'm surprised that Navi never took the time to do it. They're gonna go for the tier 2 for now. It looks like they want to steal the Aegis. Will they be able to?
They have a medallion. This is an outrageous amount of minus armor. But while this is happening, the tier 2 is being sieged. Will Navi realize what's going on in time? It doesn't look like they will. Who do you give the Aegis to in this situation? I guess that's the next question. It's going to be Era. He is their primary initiator with that blink stun. Most likely to be focused down. Still, I have to wonder, will they be able to focus anyone down because the mechanism is up and everybody on Navi is getting the levels, getting the items with another tier 2 being claimed. Oh, leshrac maybe getting caught out again. Puppey surge, but actually he's not going to go for it. Here comes a big backstab. Light of Heaven, nice Slither Crush on 2. Light of Heaven, will he be focused down? He is! And even if he's buyback, they won't have the black hole in a timely fashion in this fight. Immediate buyback from Panda ult is dropped. Nice shackle there, actually kind of a weird one, but Fly held in place for the moment. Panda continues to chase, looks like Vengeful Spirit will get caught out. Nova might be dying again. Split Earth hitting the Fire Panda, but not actually hitting the Earth Panda. Down he goes. And with that death, no buyback of the Vengeful Spirit. Actually, there is. Not sure why she's holding on to it, because they need it right now. Hani getting caught out, shackle shot to a tree. An absolute no-head slam, and he will be surrounded by these Navi heroes. Clap, Malefice. Hani is very tanky, though, and there's no Panda. Oh, where's the black hole? There's the black hole. 2 heroes caught in, 2 heroes brought down, and buybacks flying out like crazy. Fly also getting caught out. So much chase, so much back and forth on both teams. Who will go down next? Defensive vacuum away. For the moment, everybody seems to be fine. Blink in, clap onto the high ground, and Mountain is dead. He Sprout onto Light of Heaven. Light of Heaven dies again. This time, no buyback. Surge away from Puppey. Will he be able to escape Prophet with the TP available? I cannot believe this fight is not over yet. Blink in, stun again. Puppey will be locked down. Ghost Scepter, TP. Will it be enough? It will not. An outrageous engagement, and I have to say, in spite of the buybacks, I think that was a pretty even trade for Fnatic.
It's pretty even trade. They did waste a lot of gold for that buyback, but they picked off so many heroes. But the damage has been done. The mid-racks, they still have to worry about that. Now, of course, if you have a profit, that mid-racks might not mean all that much. A little bit of misplay here for Puppy. The Gold Scepter TP does not work, as when you do TP, it immediately removes your Gold Scepter. It was a nice attempt, but mechanic doesn't work out that way. And now the question is, Fnatic won those fight. They have repelled the enemy hero. Oh, here comes Hani. If he pick off a Volts right here, he's looking for it. He's looking for it. He is gonna... Nice! The Wrath of Nature came in, prevented the blink, the silence, to make sure no ultimate shenanigans. And of course, the last nuke from the Void. Nice pick off here. That was absolutely huge, because a lot of gold are committed to item purchases as well as buyback. A lot of Heaven Seas and Nightstalker won't be committing to it. He does have a blink to follow up if he wants to do so. A Vid Booster purchase perhaps here? Yes. They just want any type of survivability, any HP. Navi right now sends blood in the water. If they go get a second Rax, the game is effectively over. They just need to get enough item to last them to this point of the game. Obviously, if you want to go for true late game items for Enigma, get that BKB, get the Hex, whatever you need. But, I mean, Vid Booster, he's not going to turn that into anything.
Yeah, he is getting very tanky, though. And we've seen in the last couple of fights, they have been able to focus Light of Heaven down. Even with the mechanism, they just have so much minus armor. The Medallion, the Wave of Terror, and the Slardar ultimate. It's now a level 2 Slardar ultimate. It's just so difficult for this Enigma to stay alive. I would not mind seeing a Ghost Scepter on him either, just to help deal with some of the physical damage, because I don't think it's the nukes. I believe it is the right clicks, just the raw minus armor, the raw physical damage that Fnatic can bring to the table, which is spelling doom here. I also want to say, I think Navi have let these fights get a bit disjointed. Fnatic have done a good job of starting that off with some backstabs. But with some better positioning, Navi can really keep the fight in front of them, make sure that crucial team fight heroes like Enigma aren't getting caught off too prematurely, or that if they are, that there's some punishment for that. So for Fnatic, continue the side swipes and sort of the flanks, and for Navi, try and prevent that as best you can.
I have not seen a Blink Dagger rush on a Slardar to be this effective so far, and they're doing it against one of the best teams in the world. Era is just hitting 3-man crushes every single time. And when you're doing that, it really sets up a splitter. Of course, No Tail could run in with his big pulse Nova as well. Now, obviously, No Tail is very, very squishy. You can see that he's trying to go for a mech. A very odd hero to have mech on, because he needs every ounce of mana that he could get on. But hey, if you're healing your team and there's no mech buyer on your team, might as well get it. Right now, Navi's got to be very careful with the positioning. A team usually known for having very good positioning, today looking very sloppy. If 2 or 3 more 3-man crushes come in, they could be in some big danger. But Navi right now, rising the momentum, want to get that last Rax.
Yeah, here they go. This is going to be real difficult for Fnatic if they give away the high ground, but they're about to do that. Navi can walk right in. Panda in the front lines, and I believe this is the correct choice. 1900 HP, 11 armor. It's going to be tough to bring him down, even with all the minus armor, especially with the counter initiation that is available, as well as the Force Staff up on the Windrunner. So many ways to keep this Panda alive. Pipe and Mech, of course, have been complete for a bit here. Ghost Scepter has been picked up on a couple of heroes, including Dendy. So I love these mass Ghost Scepters that Navi are going for. Correctly identifying that the physical damage is what's doing them in these team fights. Navi didn't actually really go for high ground. There is a lot of anti-push because of this Prophet. Speaking of that Prophet, he's gone for an Orchid. There's no BKB, so this silence could be a big addition to the Fnatic squad in this next engagement.
I feel like Fnatic has misplayed that terribly. They exchanged a tier 2 tower on the mid lane for a tier 3. And the more important thing, they allow Navi to get up on the high ground, and it's so difficult when you forego that ramp advantage you have. You can see that Rax is now fully breached. Slardar does have the Aegis to jump in right that, but he at best would just get 2 hero, and that simply won't be enough. Now here comes Era, turning on Sprint. There's a silence on the Panda. They want the Panda. Can you chase him down? No! He wants to get the crush out. The Black Hole gets immediately canceled. No! Misclick on the sleep by Arzlar, canceling his own teammate's Black Hole. Hani very low in EP. They will get that eventually. The Panda blinks in right now, focusing on the Nova. Nova down to half HP. Sprouts him in. Wow. Friendly fire turned on this game perhaps. As we see the Rax fully being breached, Navi will just take this in overwhelming force. And I think with that, the game is over.
Yeah, it's Fnatic is not. They're not coming back from this one. It's not just the Rax being down. It's a significant advantage in terms of gold experience, and more importantly, Navi have all the core items they need to withstand that initial barrage from Fnatic. Fnatic just can't lock down Navi. As I say that, Era's gonna go in for some last hurrahs here. Nice 4-man Slither Crush. but immediately he just gets melted, and Denny with the Ghost Scepter, as well as the sleep used defensively. It's just too much. Here he comes again, 4 staff away. Era will be brought down. I suppose at this point, I have to say, Fnatic, they really gave Navi a run for their money. I will also say Navi did not look particularly sharp for a team that's been supposedly boot camping in preparation for DreamHack. While they may have defeated Fnatic today, I don't think they'll be able to get away with this kind of sloppy play against some of the more experienced, more accomplished teams that are going to be headed to DreamHack. So they got to step their game up.
Yeah, fanboys unite all over the world. Yeah, Navi's not playing serious. I don't buy that. I buy that for game number 2. I don't buy it for game number 3. Serious, threatening to lose a series. It is sloppy play. They need to step up. But you know, of course, there's whole bunch of more time. But if you guys caught the little banter between these two teams, DreamHack is just this weekend, and both Fnatic and Navi is going. So both teams need to shape up. Actually, I feel like Fnatic, for their part, played relatively well.
Yeah, I agree. They did play extremely well, a lot better than I think anyone expected. Yeah, I took a look at the Gosu Gamers thread. There were a lot of Gosu bets. A lot of people saying this was going to be a complete stomp. And it was not. Even in the games that Fnatic lost, especially in Game 3, they gave Navi a run for their money. They punished Navi's mistakes. And particularly, Hani played really well this series. He's the playmaker for Fnatic. He's usually the guy who sets things up, and you have to give him a lot of credit. He wasn't able to carry his team to a win here, but he at least got them one game. And even taking a game off Navi, that is not something many teams are able to do, whether Navi is at their peak performance or not. But in the end, Navi will take it. They continue to sit perched atop the Premier League, have still not dropped a best out of 3 to anybody, while Fnatic, the struggles continue. 2-1 is your final score. Navi are the winners.